Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
Breaking news alert. Federal charges are filed against a man involved in the May 30th riot in downtown Fargo that ended with businesses broken into and looted. The charges are against a 33-year-old Eric Toa. He was scheduled to be in court in this past hour. Now, U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley and Fargo Police Chief David Todd are holding a news conference right now at the federal courthouse, and we're going live to that news conference to hear more details.
In the affidavit of probable cause to support the complaint. Happy to take any of your questions at this time.
Why Mr. Toa, why did his case rise to the level to bring it to the federal?
We alleged that, as I said, during this period of civil unrest and in the riot conduct that was going on here in the downtown area, not far from where we stand right now, during that time period, Mr. Toa, we allege, conducted himself in a way that was clearly in violation of a federal statute, in that his acts, in conjunction with others, did obstruct a federally protected function, did obstruct law enforcement engaged in their lawful performance of responsibilities. We were, through the very diligent work of law enforcement, able to identify Mr. Toa. That effort is certainly continues underway right now. There are a number of individuals, I won't give you the number, a number of individuals who are also under investigation for their conduct and seeking to find ways to identify them.
So again, this is the press conference happening right now. That is U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley that we had just heard from, talking about why they are charging 33-year-old Eric Toa in that riot. Now, we won't have time to listen to the entire press conference, but we will have more on this on Valley News Live at 5 o'clock, and you can also find more information once this is finished on the VNL News app. Let's take that live look outside here in the metro now. Quite a different look than what it was this morning. I think a lot of us are fairly tired because of the lightning, thunder, the rain, and high winds that woke us all up. Luckily, that's moved on, but we're not out of the woods just yet. Let's get a check of that forecast right now with First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green. Lisa, you've had a busy day.
Yes, an extra cup of coffee needed for me today, and I'm sure for a lot of folks who were woken up by those intense storms in the Southern Valley especially. We picked up some good rain with it too, so we want to take a look at those overnight rainfall totals and this morning as well. As we continue through the day today, we're going to see those conditions be a little bit more on the soggy side in the valley. Maybe you still have some standing water in a low spot in your yard. Here's a look at some of those totals. We had 3.8 inches of rain reported in the Higginson area. A lot of places in the metro between 1 and 2 inches of rain. Christine 2.5, and there have been so many more reports coming in. We're going to compile those and have those available to you on the website so you can keep up to date on the latest rainfall. Now, we're not out of the woods yet. We've had a nice break, but you can see that there are some showers showing up in our eastern viewing area, and we have the potential for some storms as we head into the afternoon. So unfortunately, not quite done. We can't quite breathe easy just yet in our eastern viewing area. Temperatures in the 70s to some low 80s right now. It's 80 degrees in Fargo. And here's a look at that severe storm risk. We're right on the edge of a slight risk for severe storms this afternoon and evening. Some of us included in that marginal risk and deeper green there. We're going to talk more about that coming up in your hour-by-hour planner in just a few minutes.
All right, Lisa, thank you very much for keeping us up to date this morning and now the afternoon. Authorities say a lightning strike is to blame for a fire that destroyed a home in Barnesville. Now, crews rushed to this scene around 3:30 this morning to the house on Main Avenue, and they found flames shooting from the roof. Everyone living in the home was able to make it out safely. Crews stayed on scene for a couple of hours as they put those flames out and then watched for any hot spots. The Polk County Sheriff says a hit-and-run crash downed a power line across a county road. Last night, deputies were sent to County Road 10 and 160th Avenue for reports of a power line going across that road. It appears someone smashed into a power pole and then kept going. Anyone with information about this is urged to call police. Newly released data shows North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum's company received federal loans in April for coronavirus relief. The Kilborn Group was awarded between $350,000 to $1 million from the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP. The Small Business Administration has distributed more than $500 billion in forgivable loans. The loans were intended to go to small businesses as a way to weather the economic impact of the coronavirus pandemic. Kilborn was approved for a PPP loan on April 10th, according to federal data. Governor Burgum founded the Kilbourne Group in 2006. That company is currently developing the Block 9 high-rise in downtown Fargo. A Wyoming man has been arrested on several charges after hitting an unoccupied North Dakota Highway Patrol vehicle. The incident happened yesterday just outside of Henninger. The trooper involved was on his way back to his car after conducting a traffic stop when he saw 37-year-old Chad Wana hit the vehicle. Wana immediately left the car and then tried to run into a ditch to escape. The trooper was able to catch up with him and arrest him shortly after the crash. Wana was arrested for driving under the influence, driving under suspension, and leaving the scene. The Minnesota Department of Health is reporting 8 new deaths from the coronavirus, bringing the death toll to 1,485. Of those deaths, 1,161 happened in a long-term care facility. 463 new cases are reported in the state, bringing the active case count to 3,202. Nearly 35,000 people are listed as recovered. North Dakota is reporting 73 new cases of COVID-19 in the state and has also linked another death to the illness. That case count is the highest single-day rise in cases since the end of May, and it brings the state to 439 active cases. The one death was added to the list after a review. 26 patients are currently hospitalized, with 3,447 listed as recovered. More calls for justice in Indiana in the wake of a viral video showing a black local activist being attacked in an incident this weekend that many say had hints of a lynching. As Laura Podesta reports, federal investigators are now looking into that confrontation.
Justice! No peace! For the second night in a row, people took to the streets in Bloomington, Indiana, following the release of this cell phone video.
Let him go, dude.
Showing a local civil rights activist being pushed against a tree by a group of white men. The victim, Vox Booker, called it a racist attack.
I think it's undeniable when a group of white men feel that they can call for a noose, call me nappy-headed, scream out white power, and attempt to lynch a man in broad daylight.
The FBI is now investigating the incident as a possible hate crime. A demonstration in Indiana Monday calling for justice ended after a car drove through the crowd, injuring 2 people.
Overnight here in New York City, a civil rights protest also turned frightening after a run-in with a car.
Police say in that incident, protesters surrounded and banged on an SUV. The driver then took off. Thankfully, no one was hit.
I seen the truck drive over a bike and take it down the block.
And in an economic protest throughout the country yesterday, Americans participated in Blackout Day 2020, shopping only at black-owned businesses or not at all.
African Americans control over $1 trillion of buying power in the U.S. And time again, we see that in order to move the needle in social reform, it's necessary to flex that economic muscle.
The purpose was to show the impact black dollars have on the nation's economy. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
The phrase Blackout Day first surfaced in 2015 on Tumblr as an effort to showcase black artists and creators and combat negative stereotypes. Then this May, it made it into an economic boycott. Now, I know earlier in the show we said we would go live to those hard-hit areas by the storms. We are having trouble getting that connection up and running. We'll do our best to get it throughout the show. If not, we'll have that information on the VNL News app. Coming up here at noon, while masks are being recommended nationwide to help slow the spread of COVID-19, we look into which type of mask is the best for you. But next, Lisa Green is in with everything we need to know about the storms that rolled through this morning and when we can expect, yes, more stormy weather in the forecast.